All right, so before we get started with our talks, we're going to have a brief introduction from, I swear I got this, Dominique Hazael Massieux. Yes. The W3C and you.
So hi, yes, I'm Dominique Hazael Massieux, that's the correct pronunciation. Although everybody just call me Dom, you can actually find me at dom@w3c.org. You can find me on Twitter as don't call me Dom, and yes, it all makes sense. And you can also follow some of my work on the W3C dev channel, where we try to give relevant information from W3C for developers. So when we decided a few months ago that we were organizing an event at Microsoft for the next couple of days, we thought this would be a good opportunity to also meet the local Seattle developers community. And thanks to Chris, we got in touch with SeattleJS. And so that's why we're here tonight. Before I give some details about W3C, first, who knows what W3C is? Okay, a good chunk. Who is involved in W3C in one way or another? A smaller chunk. Okay. So W3C, so we are the World Wide Web Consortium. We were funded by this guy, Tim Berners-Lee, who invented the web at the end of the 80s. We build standards for the web, JavaScript API, CSS, used to work on HTML as well. So W3C is a consortium. That means it's an association of organizations who work together. It's open to any organization to join. The consortium is animated by a staff of 50 people. We try to make sure that the web keeps growing. But most of the work is done by the member organizations. We have more than 450 members around the world. And beyond this organization, it's actual real people, some of them in this room, doing the work. We have around 1,000 of people involved on a nearly daily basis in our work, and a broader community of 12,000 people involved one way or another in our standardization work. So at a very high level, our mission is leading the web to its full potential. We're not quite sure what its full potential is. We are discovering it as we are building it. A big part of our job is actually making sure we hear from enough people to understand where the web needs to go. That's what we try to achieve. What we do insist on while working on this is ensuring that some of the key values the web was built for remain true as the web evolves. So the main value, I would say, is universality. We think the web is the one platform that can serve all the needs on computing devices. And more specifically, we want to ensure this universality by building standards for interoperability across browsers, naturally, but also across operating systems, across devices. We want the web to be accessible, in particular accessible to people with disabilities. It has always been a great focus of W3C. We want our technologies to be open, so in particular in terms of IPR, anybody can implement them, use them freely without having to pay anyone. We want them to work for anyone across the globe, so we have a strong internationalization effort. And we want them to be safe, both from a security perspective and a privacy perspective. It's not always easy. Not all of these values always work very easily one with another, but that's what we are aiming for. In terms of some of the recent topics that I subjectively think are important, and there are diverse degrees of maturity. We recently announced standards for web authentication, which means that we've opened the way for removing passwords from the web. WebRTC, I've been working on that tech for 8 years, but it's great. It lets you do audio, video, telecommunications on the web. Web payments is going to make payment completely seamless on the web, which is particularly important for mobile monetization. WebAssembly is probably going to change the shape of the web by bringing performance in web browsers very close to native performance. WebXR we will be hearing a lot more about very soon, but basically bringing augmented and virtual reality to web browsers. We'll hear about WebGPU as well, bringing even better GPU support in web browsers. And we have also some early work around machine learning on the web. You can check your bingo card. And voice-based user experiences as well is one topic of interest. In terms of our work mode, all of the work we do is basically public on GitHub, which means that if you're interested, you can very easily follow it and even contribute to it. Some of the work happen also physically. We have, in particular, each year an all-group meetings. So in 2019, it will be in Japan, but in 2020, it will be in Vancouver. So I thought I would mention it, because if you do catch the bug of W3C, it's a pretty good opportunity to meet the rest of the community. We also have, every so often, one-off topical events. As I mentioned before, we are here for a 2-day event at Microsoft the next 2 days, focused on web games. So this time it's in Seattle, but we do this type of events a bit all over the place. So most of this work is completely open to anyone to participate, but we are a membership-based organization, in particular for all the decisions that are strategic in terms of the future of the web, in terms of the priorities of where the web needs to go. Then you need to become a W3C member, which is a fee-based membership. But again, if you want to bring it to the next step in terms of influence, that's what you need to do. I won't take a lot more time, just to say, if you are interested, if what you hear tonight seems like stuff you should be involved in, it's fairly easy to get started. You can, as I said, bring your input and feedback on GitHub. You can help with interoperability by writing test cases. You can bring your ideas about the future of the web. In particular, we have this group chaired by Chris called the Web Platform Incubator Community Group, where any idea is welcome for discussion and review. We have this community groups program that lets you build any group on any topic with anyone. Again, no fee, no requirement beyond IPR commitments. So if you want to work with a set of people interested on a given topic, it's a great pathway to the formal standardization next. And again, if you want to go to the next level and actually shape the future of the web through standards, you're most than welcome to join as a W3C member. And that's all I had for you tonight. If you want to chat about this after the talks, I'm more than happy to give you more details, and, more concrete details about how to get involved, but also feel free to reach out either on Twitter, on email, on GitHub, or wherever. Thanks a lot.
All right. And now we're going to have 3 great talks, because you guys are, I don't need to keep coming back up here. So we're just going to go through them real quick, and then you know what to be excited about and in what order. First of all, we're going to have Nell Wallachek, building the immersive web with WebXR. What is WebXR, you ask? Augmented and virtual reality. Or is it? No, it isn't. Unless we're in it right now. Okay, sorry. And then we have David Kathu from WebGL to WebGPU, a perspective from Babylon.js. And third, we have Doug Sillars, or Silars. I didn't check with his last name. That's on me. I stream, you stream, how to make your video stream. And then that'll be it. So we'll go ahead and start off with Nell.